Hey everyone, welcome to CryptoAmaGiveAways. We are here with our another AMA. So our AMA is with Lost Metas. From the team we have Gusto Art. Hey, how are you?
I'm absolutely fine. How are you guys?
I'm also fine. First of all, warm welcome to the CryptoAMA giveaways. Really great to have you here with us.
Yeah, no, it's been a pleasure to be here, guys. Yeah, just excited. This is an exciting time for us as a project. And yeah, it's an opportunity to speak to you guys. I'm always happy to speak to everyone from all over the world and groups like yourself, especially if it's to do with crypto and art and my passion, really.
It's really great to have you with us.
Thank you.
Before we talk about the project, please introduce yourself about your background and experiences in crypto space and how did you get into the crypto space and then about the project.
Yeah, sure. So, so I'm Gusto at London. I'm the founder of Lost METAS. Really excited day today. We just got KYC approved for our project, which will launch next week. I've been an artist first and foremost for all my life, really. I started selling modern, urban, and contemporary art, and it's just really been a passion for me, NFTs and so forth. And getting into NFTs was an interesting journey as well. So it happened by chance. I fell into the space by pretty much chance as well. I was just literally doing a drawing one day, and I stumbled across an article about digital artwork, and it just blew me away. Right, so from that moment, I was captivated by the space. I always knew that art would take a digital form, but what really grasped the fact was that people are paying, the value, how now people are using artwork as a means of payment. And I find that idea truly amazing. So I started drawing lots more digital artwork, and yeah, I started getting quite good at it. And I came across a project called METAS. I don't know if you know them. And I had fun creating their first NFT collection, which I think they're currently minting now. And from there, I've just literally just been carrying on, and I feel humbled because I'm getting I get a lot of DMs now for projects asking me to design NFTs. But I have a passion as well, which is to build something, to leave a legacy, right? Unfortunately, there's so many projects that are out at the moment. Some come and some go, and I just don't feel like they're going to be. They don't want to have that true utility. And for me, this is so important for crypto in this space as well. And I truly believe that if you're able to create a project in this space, and it has utility, you are able to pretty much place the NFT in real world, and grow and believe in a brand. I think that can be truly be groundbreaking. So right now with Lost Metas, the project that I'm just about to launch, we have the model or what we've developed, and it's a game changer and it's different. And I believe that it will do so good for this space in general, right? Because I think that it's been shrouded in so much loss lately. So many projects disappearing, and I've always said to everyone, even the team of mods that have just, we're literally 3 days old, right? My Telegram group for 4 days old, and I think from all the hype that people, because I've been developing this project for a few months now, you know, people are noticing, and I think it's just really humbling. I think if I can carry on and just speak from the heart and then just show what you're able to do in this space, it's a beautiful thing.
It's amazing. Let's give us briefly introduction about your project.
Yeah, so I've developed Lost Metas with the viewpoint of changing the landscape of how NFTs and how a project can grow. Okay, so literally, we've just partnered with George Moresby Films, an amazing production house in London. They make content and adverts for Calvin Klein, Panasonic, other household brands, right? And I have this model where I believe that our token holders who hold Lost Metas will be able to capitalize on that whole arena as well. Okay, so Lost Metas ultimately is a film, right? And people think, well, what do you mean it's a film? So how the name Lost Metas came about is quite simple. So one day I was literally sitting at the TV, right, and nothing was on TV, nothing, and I was just like, you know what, I'm paying so much money for subscriptions, Netflix, everything, right? But then there's a time where they don't update, and I was like, what is this? So as a concept artist and an illustrator, if you like, I literally just sat and drew characters, and I drew because I literally can draw it for days and days on end. And I drew these characters, and I then digitized these characters, and I thought, you know what, I love science fiction films. I was brought up in a great era where we had Stanley Kubrick films, just the all-time greats in my eyes, right? So I developed this character, these films, these characters which play a big part in the metaverse spilling into the real world. And I just love the concept of the characters of Lost Metas. How we have sentinels looking for individuals who have escaped from the metaverse into the real world, and I just love this whole idea. So I developed the concept behind this project to have this animated film in development. And what's important about that and how that benefits token holders is that we're developing these two concepts. Okay, there's watch to earn instead of play to earn, and this other concept where films that we sort of produce and is showed on content providing channels and landscapes like YouTube, people who are token holders of Lost Metas, okay, will share and in the revenue. It's quite simple. Instead of us as a brand and a project creating NFTs as well, also to sell, all the NFTs that I will create, all revenue that's generated from NFTs are shared with token holders. And it's all transparent. Okay, this is what's going to change in my eyes. This is what's going to change the landscape of NFTs. This is in my eyes, okay, because there's been a lot of just things that have happened, and I feel like it's time for a change. So I believe that if we can all come together and just focus on particular changes, it will grow, right? So it's a bit like it's a bit like fire. How fire needs oxygen to grow. Good ideas pretty much act in the same way, right? When people catch on, things will grow. So I'm using that. So with that said, licensing, any license agreements that we have with projects and merchandise, token holders will benefit. Everything is about the token holder, because my main aim with Lost Metas is actually to turn it into a company. I worked for Barclays Bank for 4.5 years. I've been in finance for a number of years. I've done numerous things in that landscape, and yeah, for me, it's all about building a good brand.
It's really amazing. So I have some questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
So first question from my side is, how many team members and developers are there in your project?
Okay, so uh, that's a very good question. So right now we have about 12 team members, give or take, about 12 team members. And in terms of developers, so in developing the contract for Lost Metas, I literally sort of came across a few good people who I believed could do the job. Okay, so what I decided to do is, we have all heard of horror stories, right, of projects getting rugged because of the devs run off, and unfortunately, I was just actually producing artwork for a particular project, and that just happened, right? The dev run off. So what I decided to do is essentially use my own money and paid a dev who actually, I knew from nowhere, and had the contract made, and that's it. Okay, so it's a bit different. You see, I see a lot of projects who create, the contracts and devs and things like that, and they all have them intertwined. But for me to have true ownership of the project, total control of everything, needs to come from myself. Okay, that way I can do quality control. That way I can make sure that the project is stable, and that way I can really make sure that we grow without, how can I say, any kind of detrimental. Say for instance something happens to the dev, or he wants to do something, and something happens in his life, he decides to cash in our tokens. It doesn't affect our project.
It's great. Have
Yeah.
you met all your goals in the roadmap till now, and were there any difficulties that we didn't expect and were not prepared for?
Okay. So with our roadmap and with our project, we are literally a brand new project. We haven't launched yet. Okay, so we launch next week. But it's crazy because I'm having so many messages. Just people are just like, wow, we love your brand, we love everything about it, and it's truly humbling, right? And I think as a project, I just want to do good, and really just build something for my members, because believe me, I've had about 5 people come into the group today and just like, look, I love your project. Can I be a mod? Can I be this, that? And it's again truly humbling. No one's asking for money. Everyone just wants to build this great brand that I've created. Um, yeah.
Okay, it's great. Let's talk about tokenomics of your project. Can you share with us about buy and sell taxes of your project?
Yeah, sure. I can indeed. So, in terms of the project and the tokenomics of it, I've really made it as fair as possible. So, and it's again slightly different right now. Okay, so 9% buy and 9% sell. That's it. In terms of how that's distributed, 4% will go to all of our diamond holders again. Okay, so all token holders of Lost Me. 3% will go to, I believe, let's think now. Yeah, 3% will go to our liquidity, and 2% will go to our marketing wallet. Now, that marketing wallet will be split at the first stage, because 1% will go to our buyback and 1% to the marketing wallet. And I've kept it really low for a reason, okay? Because we are a project. We're a project that's starting. And I believe to really truly gain trust in this space, instead of having such high fees, I see a lot of projects again doing this today, just money, money, money. You want to grab, like I say, if you have a good product, a good solid foundation, people will see that, and will essentially come to you, and will enjoy the growth.
Okay. Uh, can you share about your token utility and also tell us use of tokens in ecosystem? What would be the total supply of tokens after completing the token burn?
Okay, so I'm going to be. I don't know how you guys will take this, but I today have only just shared the tokenomics. Okay, I've only just shared the tokenomics today with my community, and now with a few other people. In terms of utility, like I've just mentioned, everything is about the use and holding of the tokens. So let's just say, for instance, we have our first NFT collection coming out very, very soon. I anticipate probably about a week or 2 weeks after launch. I'm actually looking at certain platforms to have the launch on. Yeah, and of course, I don't know if you guys have seen some of my artwork and NFTs that I've created. I do a lot of one-on-one NFTs. Okay, so when they are sold, any revenue gets distributed all the token holders. That in my eyes is groundbreaking. It's different, never before seen in this space. And also with that as well, all the main aim of Lost Metas is to gain awareness as a project. Okay, that in my eyes is amazing. Just to give you an idea about why this is so important as a project. So when I joined Metapets market cap was at 300,000. Okay, I created a guerrilla marketing plan that I executed with precision. Over a short space of time, we took the market cap up to 90 million. And that's fact. You can check that on CoinMarketCap. You can do anything, and people will tell you. And with that, because I have a guerrilla marketing team in London and in Europe, and we had graffiti artists, we had so many individuals, we had stickers, we created the QR codes stickers, we had them printed out, we had community members posting them in their local area, and they were filmed. And I have a strategic model, and everything I create in that model I will be doing in Lost Metas as well, because I believe in the brand, and everything I always do, you have to approach it with the fact that you believe in it. Okay, and that for me is really important.
Okay, it's great. Now move to the audit. Tell us about the audit of your project.
Sorry.
I said, now move to the audit. Tell us about the audit of your project.
Yeah, so as we approach the pre-sale and so forth, so we have now today been KYC approved as a project. We've got that. That happened super fast, but the great guys over at Seek. So we have our Seek token KYC, and literally today I'm actually touching base with 2 or 3 audit companies to audit the project, right? So that you're talking to me in real time right now, right? So we go to market next week, but like I said, as a project, we've literally only been around literally for 3 to 4 days as a project, right? So as on Telegram, as talking, but I've been developing this idea. If you go to my Twitter, you will see that I've been developing this concept for quite a while, and yeah, we've just suddenly a lot of people are piquing their interest, and I'm truly humbled.
Okay, it's great. Do
Thank
you
you.
maintain the database for the project? Who does KYC with you? And have any artificial intelligence algorithm to look into the database? If some projects team try to KYC with you, because it is possible that some previous scammers changes their identity or their appearance to do KYC with you.
Yeah, sure. So we did our KYC with Seek, Seek token, um, and they really are changing, in my eyes, again a game changer, right? So the information that they asked for from me was very in depth, right? Information that you just don't share, right? But I truly believe, coming from a financial services background, that it was important. It was important to do this. It was important for my community. It was important for token holders who want to get involved in the whitelist and the pre-sale. Should it be a pre-sale? I'm not saying anything yet about that, but for that, it's very important. And in terms of scammers and all that sort of stuff, that is why I'm being so vague. If you go to the website, www.lostmetas.com, it's very vague, right? There's just a logo. and a spinning sentinel character, and that's done because we want to protect our, our, our our community, and we want to protect the project. The integrity of the project is important. And so if we give everything away so soon, before you know it, there's going to be so many groups out there. So in my eyes, I just have to do that. And people, people think, oh, it's different, but it's how we maintain a good, strong foundation as a project.
Okay, it's great. I want to know that from where investors will be able to get these NFTs. Will the NFT collection be available on your official website, or it will be or it will be on marketplace like OpenSea? And do you have any plan in future to create your own NFT marketplace?
That's a great question. That's really a great question. So um, I have looked at OpenSea. Um, I do like OpenSea. The only issue I have is, some I've been reading recently that a lot of the projects right now are, there's always issues with gas fees, right? If they're paying in ETH and things like that. And for me, art should be shared for everyone. Right? Everyone should be able to have art, regardless, right? But I think with gas fees changing and being so exorbitant some days, it's important for me to choose the right solution provider for this. So I have looked at OpenSea. I've looked at maybe using a different payment method and things like that. But it has to be a good platform which has sufficient liquidity, and OpenSea has that. But again, I just want to make sure that it's the right platform, and everyone is able to have access to the NFTs. I don't want to just move people because of certain affordability issues or anything like that. I believe that if we have um, a good platform and a good partner with the NFT collection, um, it's a win-win, because of course our the the um, the revenue generated is shared with our community, is dispersed. We will vote on everything with the revenue generated, and that's what's important on that side. But yes, I will, of course. After the mint, if once that happens, so we will be concentrating on merchandise as well. Clothing, this, that, and the other, because I am an artist and already have a clothing collection ready to go. In fact, for Lost Metas, and all these amazing things, right? So it's full circle. So yeah, we will probably look at our own minting platform, because it just again makes sense for that quality control as well, and affordability. We're launching on a certain chain, and we just want to just kind of keep it that way.
It's great. I want to know more about your project. Will it be like PancakeSwap where we can just swap the tokens, or it will be proper exchange like Binance where we can hold crypto assets to P2P and future trading as well?
Yeah, yeah. So it will be on PancakeSwap. Um, it's important. I like PancakeSwap. I think it's transparent. I think everything about PancakeSwap is great. It's easy to use. Its functionality is easy, and yeah, it just fits really well, really, with what we want to do. We want it to be accessible for all. And as a project just starting, and we go live, I think it's a good place, good start.
It's great. Currently, the blockchain market is quite volatile. Which geographical areas or industries does Lost Metas focus on?
Geographical areas, such a good question. I would, if I'm honest, I'm gonna be completely honest here with Lost Metas. It's for everyone who enjoys, in my eyes, first and foremost, tech, um, and cinema and film. And if you truly love film and you love tech and you love the idea of utilities, having your NFTs um, being able to give you, say, a real world application, right? So what I mean by that is, I won't give too much away again, but so I've had a meeting. I've had two meetings, in fact, with some brands, because again, I come from that background as well, where you can actually present. Imagine having being able to present your NFT, right, in a shop, in a department store, and just being able to have a certain level of discount, right? It's something that's not been done before, again, but I think it's all about spreading awareness, right? So, imagine your NFT being a loyalty card. You know, imagine owning a certain NFT, which will be able to provide you with that. You know, all these things are possible, and this is what's really important. So, in terms of geographical areas, it should be open to anyone who's able to get involved, and truly get involved. There is no discrimination. There is no anything. I want this project to be accessible and open to all, um, and that's probably why I'm actually going down the route of how we launch is so important, right? So yeah, that's it. And I can tell you now, the ticker is a dollar sign, and it's lost me. Okay, nothing else. That's the ticker sign.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
What is your advantages over other project? Is it from a security point of view or the technology you are using? Or are there other advantages? What makes you believe that your project is worth choosing?
Okay, so that's a good question as well. Um, First and foremost, yes, from a security standpoint. Okay, first and foremost, I passed my KYC personally today with the project. Okay. Secondly, it's 100% owned. There is no dev wallet, so to speak. There's contributors, of course, who've helped. They will have, but that's reduced. Um, and also my model. Once I share the roadmap on Monday, people will, the eyebrows will raise, because it's, in my eyes, it's something that's not been seen. No project out there currently is, allowing revenue share distribution from assets created, right? So NFTs. So okay, so we're going to launch NFTs. We're going to take them to a market. They'll be minted, and the revenue goes back to our token holders. You know, there's no project that does that. No project. Okay. In terms of Lost Metas as a film, animated film at that, and also we're going to we've just finished creating our Lost Metas YouTube channel. It's blank right now, but that will be focusing on tech, film, and gaming. Okay, and eventually, the whole idea is, and the whole model is, right, is to have these content makers fall within our ecosystem. Um, and so not only will they benefit, because we'll have a group of content makers under our ecosystem. If all these content makers are producing all this content under one ecosystem, and the revenue generated again will be much greater, right? Um, and the revenue generated will only be much greater, but all of our token holders will benefit as well. Again, a model that's not been seen before, and I've sat and I've pondered so much about developing this idea, and I just want to make it something different. Yeah.
It's great. Non-crypto user is very important for mainstream adoption. How you are planning to attract non-crypto users toward your project? Is there any upcoming partnership that will bring non-crypto users and real use case?
Yeah. Sure. So with that aspect, we do, and this is in fact why we just recently announced that partnership with George Wolsbury Film, because of the fact that I sat quite for some time talking to him about what he wants to do as a sort of producer and editor for these brands, because sometimes a lot of people who are creative do it work in that environment because they like doing it, but would like to create something for themselves, right? So, if we, the animated film that I'm developing currently, and the licensing and all that sort of stuff is exciting. But for us to make things appealing for content makers, we have to be transparent. Okay, so what the reason why I've partnered initially first with George Mosley Film is literally because it's a first move advantage, and for us we can see the whole security of how everything works underneath. And then once everything works and we see the model works, and our token holders are happy, once we have the film streamed and all these sort of things, we'll be more comfortable in looking at certain fields. Everything is about testing and testing and testing. And like I said, our roadmap, which we're creating, and it's about it's about 1 to 2 years, right? It's a 2-year roadmap, initially, but it's not full of so many things that are unachievable. You all know of so many projects that have such a roadmap, and they put in P2E games, all this stuff, and they never do it. They never reach that because they shoot too fast. They launch NFTs straight away, and there's no real use case for any of them. So it's important to have utility and have all these things set up. So you guys, our investors and our token holders who believe in Lost Metas, can benefit from this, and that's what's really important.
It's wonderful. I really love your project.
Thank you.
So, in a project, marketing and advertising strategy must be strong in order for it to be succeed. What plans do you have for your project, marketing and advertising strategy?
Okay, so for me, again, everything has to be unorthodox, right? And I have to say this from the start, okay? Like, I had the same meeting today with our community on my AMA about our launch, right? Um, and I made it quite clear from the start that for me, it's about the long journey, okay? I'm not, I don't mind. I don't, if our project takes off really fast and everything shatters, yeah, great. If the project starts and it's really slow, great. Nothing changes. So I have a guerrilla marketing plan in place that I'll be executing next week, actually, to take just to start, just to give people a little snippet of what we do. And it's the same marketing plan that we had with METAS as well, but it's a bit watered down because I truly believe that you shouldn't really give too much too soon. Okay, so that's important. So yeah, just again, events we have planned that we want to film and share, because right now, yeah, a lot of groups do the same things, paying for the same old things, and yeah, okay, they do great, but then the project disappears with investors' money and things like that. I mean, we don't care about that. Let those projects do all that sort of stuff, right? We're not trying to, build the next, the best sliced bread on the day. We want to really, really take our time and just make sure that we get to where we need to get to. And that's Neptune.
It sounds great. Do you
Yeah,
consider community feedback requests during the creation of your project in order to expand on fresh ideas for your project? Many projects fail because the target audience and clients are not understood. So I'd like to know who your ideal consumer is for your project.
that's such a great question. A really good question. So the target audience, if I'm honest with you, is anyone who has a sense of imagination, who gets excited when they read things, right? That's my target audience. For the people who may come across something and just feel that feeling go down their spine. That's my target audience. That's for those people, right, who feed on their emotions and do things. That's the target audience. It's nothing more, nothing less. People who just genuinely feel taken back and feel for things. You know, I really do love this question because it's you may have those moments in your life when you meet people and some may not interest you to start. Some you may meet and you get on like a house on fire and then they disappear. And then you meet some people where you've never met before for your whole life, but you just get on and you just click, right? You click. And it's a bit like that. It's a bit like Lost Matters, what we're trying to do and what we want to sort of build. It's just awareness. So everyone who feels what we're trying to achieve, that's my target audience.
It's really great. What are you concentrating on at the moment? Are you concentrating on attracting and retaining new investors, community expansion, or partnerships?
So right now, yeah, like we said, we've just literally just got KYC'd as a project, which is really important for me. This is so important because I just want to scream and shout that security is very important. Um, and as a project, what we want to do is we just, yeah, as we are a new project, we've not launched yet. It's just awareness. Come to our group, join us. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm looking for people who like, you know, who do things with their heart. So I'm not screaming out for hundreds of investors to take note. But what I'm looking for is people who choose to believe in projects because that's what I want. I don't want people to well, people can choose. Everyone has their own right to what they want to do with their money. But at the end of the day, is we really want people who get involved with projects to believe in what we're trying to build. Okay, so if you do choose to come on board with ourselves when we launch, um, please, it's all about transparency. So if you join my group today at Los Metas, and you'll find everything's about transparency. Everyone's been talking about that. They say, "Oh, our founder, he loves transparency." I do. I really do. And for me, that's the best way of how we're going to grow and go from strength to strength. So, if you love the idea of earning sort of, revenue from assets sold from the project instead of, selling NFTs and then, of course, keeping that to ourselves and like that, it doesn't make sense. But if you do like the idea of that project here, that you have a creative person, that our project just has so many creative aspects, and there's a chance for you to benefit from that. It's a no-brainer for me. It's what I would do.
It's great. Which do you think is more important for your project? Is it community, investors, or the token price? If all of above is important to you, which should come first?
Um, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. For now, it's a tricky one, right? Because crypto right this moment in time, where it's been so volatile, right? You've now created this kind of echo chamber of super hyped investors that want to jump in and jump out of projects and make that 5x or 10x or 100x, right? A few years back, it was never like that. So for me, I think personally, the community is really important because a project is not a project without its community. Um, and that's what's really important. And that's why I have these AMAs pretty much every other day. I want to listen to my community. I want to know that they're happy. And it's quite funny because, like I said, we haven't even launched yet, right? We are launching next week, but we're not launched yet. But I care about my community so much, and that's what for me is important. It really is. I feel humbled beyond belief. I really do, and I'm excited at the same time because I know for myself, I know it's all about self belief, but I have passion, and I'm in a position in my life where I can apply pretty much 90% of all my time to this project. Okay, so that's it for me. I just want to build and create a legacy and be that guy and that my kids will be proud of. Because like I said, ultimately, Lost Metas will become a company. I've had companies in the past I've built from scratch. And it's just exciting. It's an exciting time, especially what I want to do with Lost Metas. So yeah,
It's really amazing. So,
thanks.
before moving to the community questions, is there anything else you want to mention about the project, or if I haven't asked about this specifically, so you are welcome to explain about it.
Yeah, so I'll tell you how we actually was born as a project. Is very very. It's an interesting story. So I had just finished doing the NFT collection for METAS, and I was kept on getting DM'd by a certain individual. I won't mention his name, and I ignored the I ignored the message. I ignored the message because quite frankly, I just wasn't in the place at the time to look. But I loved the persistence. I loved the idea that he was very persistent, and I was introduced to this project that I created all the artwork for. So yeah, the project leader sat with me, and he wanted to hire me to do the NFT collection for this and for this project. And yeah, so I created the NFTs. We created the brand, and it was amazing. But unfortunately, going back to what I said earlier, this particular dev decided to do the unthinkable, right? Um, and yeah, it just absolutely destroyed everyone's faith in everything. So me being me as an artist and feeling that I'm up to the challenge. This project that I've been developing on my mind for the last few months in the background. I seized a moment, and yeah, literally here I am now. And some of the community from that project are with me, and we're just building it from strength to strength to strength. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much. Let's
that's all
take
right.
community questions. So,
Yeah,
guys,
please.
raise your hands.
Here we go.
Okay, so first we have Raquel. You are free to ask your question. Hey, Raquel, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah, we
sure.
can.
Okay. Um, there are countries that impose harsh conditions or on cryptocurrency or trading in them. Would you consider using a marketing plan to promote in these countries? And if so, can the investor be sure that that the invested or investment is safe or not?
Yeah. Um, so this is very important, right? So this is why I've gone the full measure of paying quite a substantial fee to be KYC'd, right? So the project can be KYC'd. Um, so the terms of getting KYC'd and successfully are very stringent. Okay, so what that basically means is that if I personally commit a crime, okay, or do anything untoward with this project, my information will be passed on to the FBI, um, everything, and I've agreed to all this. And the reason why I agreed to all this is because I've seen, I've firsthand what's happening in this space with my own eyes. And for me, nothing makes me more happier to be KYC personally and as a project, and for investors to believe in me is truly humbling. Like I was saying, so of course, all I can really do for now is ask everyone who's looking at my project as a as something to sort of hedge their bets on, if you like, to give me 1% of your trust. That's all. If you give me 1% of your trust, I'm very, very confident over the next few years that I will earn the other 99 on the back of what we at Lost Metas does.
Are you there,
Thank you.
Becca?
Thank you,
Thank you
Rachel.
for your question. Thank you so much. So the next we have Saida Mariam. You are free to ask your question. Saida Mariam, are you there? I think she's not. So let's take Puri. You are free to ask your question.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Thanks, Sophia and Gusto. So I have a question I want to ask.
Yep.
My question
Sorry, I can't hear you.
wait. So will you be stick to the same taxes or will there be some difference in near future? Because reason being recently I have seen that some projects have like 15% buy and 15%
Yeah.
sell tax and later on they make buy tax as zero and increase the sell tax as 30% or 40%. So like we as investor will be at loss who buy now, so like the taxes are guaranteed or like can they be changed?
So my taxes, okay, for this project, will stay at that rate. They will not change. The only thing it will change is when, if this project becomes to a level where it's self-sustaining and everything is moving and working, and we become a project and a company, then yes, it will be renounced, and it will be out there. But to be honest with you, I don't like the thought of renouncing any contract or changing anything. So I can guarantee that, and I'll put that in writing as well, that no taxes will be changed for the next 5 years. It makes no difference to me.
Thank you, Puri, for your question.
That's right. Thank you.
Okay, so next we have Muhammad. You are free to ask your question.
Hello Sophia, can I ask question?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, you can.
So my question is where did you get the inspiration for this unique project idea and what influence will we have on the crypto industry due to your project?
Okay, so where the project came from, yeah, as I said earlier, it came to me actually a few months back. I was, sitting as I mentioned, I was literally sitting at home watching TV, and I couldn't find anything on TV. And being in crypto, being in crypto for about, myself personally, I've been in crypto, well, for about 7 years. Um, and I've always wanted to either develop a book or a film, because I'm an artist as well, or a book or a film, and it just hit me. Why don't I develop a film? Why don't I turn it into a project? And why don't I share the revenue with the project? And it was a no-brainer. And so I sat for days and creating 2D NFTs to 3D NFTs, and I created these characters, the lost metas, right? We have the advancement right now of the metaverse, and I have to be vague, right? Because I don't want to give too much away, because of course there's so many projects out there, that or people that take these things and try to do things with it. But you know, it's a great, it's different. It's different, and you know, so far a lot of people are liking what they're seeing and hearing. You know, although the website is very vague, the website will be revealed on Monday. And we really just want to forge our own pathway, right, in the crypto space. You know, we're not interested in, you know, telling you that we're going to do the XYZ and then we shoot and then we down and then people lose their heads, right? No, you know, for me, what's important, the most important thing as a project owner, is security for my community and honesty. Okay, I don't care about anything else because I feel if people see that and people, you know, uh, understand the vision of what we're trying to deliver as a project, it will just make sense for that person if they want to invest or not. Yeah,
Thank you for answering me.
that's okay. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you
thanks,
so
Sophia.
much. Thank you for our question. So the next we have Maxwell. You are free to ask your question.
Hello, Sophia. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So hello, Sophia. Hello, Gusto. I've got to say, the project is looking great actually, and on seeing from your facial expression and all, I can say that you are proud of this project, and appreciate how you've been through it so far, and that's really gives me confidence about this project.
Thank
So
you.
it's looking great. So my question is gonna be about NFTs. So I would like to know how do you intend to keep a balance between the production and demand of these NFTs so as to avoid excess supply of the NFTs, if you get my question. And
Yeah,
also
sure.
for investors who aren't really in the space, can I purchase your NFT without your native token? Yeah. So did you get the questions?
Yes, I did. I did. Um, so okay, so that's a great question. So with the NFTs in question, it really boils down to if we work with a partner such as, you know, OpenSea, or we launch on, say, a Binance Smart Chain platform, or Binance NFTs, right? Um, these are really important. But what I want to make sure is that the right platform that we choose has to do the NFT justice, right? That for me is really important because you have to understand that if we choose OpenSea and our NFTs will be sold and minted on OpenSea and they carry on, and that 1% fee, or 2% fee, whatever that the minter creates, you know, will be dispersed to our token holders. Um, you know, we just have to make sure that the integrity of the platform that we choose has the liquidity to continue, you know, essentially caring for that NFT, if that makes sense. So yeah, you know, for me that's important. But you mentioned something there about what will be the thing that actually drives people and to keep piquing their interest as we grow as a project, and as our, say, YouTube channel starts to grow, and we start, you know, allowing content producers to work underneath our brand. As that grows, and you know the revenue generated is again dispersed to our token holders, um, you know, this whole thing will be a snowball effect, right? And again, it's not been seen in this space, and that's what makes this project very special. And you know, so far I've had nothing but great feedback about the NFTs that I draw. You know, they're not simple drawings. In fact, let me think if I can quickly share some of my NFTs. Right. So let me share with you. If you give me a minute, I'll do that just to give you an idea of some of my work. I think it's truly important that you see some of my works that I've created myself, right? So just to give you an idea about this, right? Can you all see that? Yeah. So if you can't, let me get to here, share the screen. Right. Okay. So I'm now going to show you some of my NFT drawings, and I truly, yeah. Okay. So can you guys see this?
Yeah, we can.
So that's some of my, these are some of the artworks that I created, just to, you know, yeah, I think for me as an NFT artist, it's really important to be different, right?
Yeah, it's looking really great.
Thank you. And the one I'm very proud of some of my
Wow.
NFT.
The NFT really look nice. I like them.
I love this one.
Thank you. And you know, if you go really deep, right? You see,
You are really an amazing artist.
thank you.
Yes, Sophia. I gotta say the NFT is looking great actually.
Thank,
Wow, I must commend your work, buddy.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
you're
So,
doing a great job.
thank you.
Thank you, Maxwell, for your question.
Oh yeah, so okay. Oh yeah.
So the next we have Crypto Guru. You are free to ask your question.
Hello, hello, Sophia. How you doing?
I'm great. What about you?
So I'm doing great too. So hello, Gusto. Nice project you have here. So yeah. So my question now is gonna be about the hype, which many token depends on. The current market situation is currently in the bear market and isn't looking good. So my question is gonna be how do you intend to sustain the token? If this hype dies, of which many token kind of rely on. So how do you intend to I would like to know, sorry, I would like to know, how do you intend to add value to the token? What is this token gonna be? What you gonna be integrating that's gonna be adding value to the token? And lastly, how do you intend to sustain it when the hype dies? So that's my question.
Yeah, great question. So, firstly, when projects, you know, when projects start, you know, it's very important that we have a good, healthy start. But what's important is the community, because the community makes the project and the investors make the project, right? So what's important for me is that the project investors who come to the project understand where we're going as a project. The reason why I say that's so important is that transparency again is everything. If investors see that you're doing marketing, you're doing all the things that you said you're doing, the price remains stable. Okay, you know, even taking into the consideration of how this market is at the moment, the project will be stable because at the end of the day, no one will be selling, right? people tend to sell based on emotions, right? So if they're seeing that other people are selling and they're not quite aware of why they're selling, yeah, of course the project will fall and dip and things like that. But even if we dip, if maybe a day that say things don't go so well and people start selling and it dips, if you are true to your community, I feel this is from experience because this is my first full blown project as a crypto project, right? So I've had companies, but I understand what's in. For me as a person and as an investor and as a project leader, honesty above everything else. Okay, so if I'm a project leader and I'm not on doing these AMAs, if I'm not around to be seen, and people have questions, and I don't answer them, that is a red flag for me. Okay, you'll see me in my group. I'm there every day. I answer all the questions. People have other questions, they can DM me. And when I have good news, I share it with my community first. Nothing more, nothing less. So that for me is important because if you don't look after your community, it raises so much problems for the project, and it will remove the safety of that project. And for me as an investor looking at this project, um, it would be a red flag for me also, right? So for me, I have to see that the project leader is engaging with the community. There's no discrimination, because I've seen it in other projects. They may not talk to certain people or this, that, and the other. At the end of the day, if I can understand you, I'll talk to you, and just trust. For me, I always say trust the process, but it's important, even if you are an investor in the project, that you truly understand what we are trying to build. And like I said, with Lost Metas, I wanted to be a real company because I've had that experience, right? I've had that area, and I feel that if we can just get to the 2-year roadmap and we have developed the ecosystem, even if it's if we've achieved say 70% deliverability on that, right? Even that in itself is so important, because even if we achieve say 10%, right? Um, because even in certain conditions, if people see that your project is setting off and delivering these things, it just reassures investors. And at the moment, and how I feel launching this project now, I'm all for that. I'm all for that. That's why reassurance and transparency is all I want to do. And once I start delivering the NFTs, when people start receiving the revenue generated from the NFT sales, our token holders, um, I think it'll be a great day. It'll be a great day in this space, because even if one NFT, right, this is what's really exciting for me. Even if you're say you're in early at this project, right, and you may have only invested say $50 or $100. $50 to some people is not a lot of money, but $50 to other people is a great deal of money, right? But the truth is, every dollar is important, right? It doesn't matter even if you're wealthy or not. Every dollar is important. And let's just say you are a small holder, and you're say early in the project, diamond hand holder will be rewarded first. Okay, that's a fact with my project. So it doesn't matter whether you have a big bag or a small bag. It's the ones who've been in from the start and held the longest will be rewarded. And like I said, if you have a small bag or like $50 or $100, and an NFT sells for $500 or $1,000 or 2,000, whatever, um, and if there's say a certain amount of people in the bracket, it doesn't matter. You'll still be rewarded for that, for doing nothing, just for being a believer. And I think that's truly groundbreaking, if I'm honest with you. Yeah.
Thank you, Guru, for your question.
Oh yeah, so you did a great deal in answering the question. And about the long term that you were mentioning. You know that
Yep.
holding tokens for the long term is a very tricky one. As you hold, as investors buy, there's a pump, and some people want to go, while the
Mhm.
people entering are kind of losing. So holding for the long term is kind of difficult. Like the project I saw later in the day by the pink sale community, I really love this system. He kind of locked like 5% of each wallet, so that when you sell, others wouldn't be affected by it. So okay, thanks for the answer.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sophia. Best of luck, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
We have more hands up, but it's time to wrap up. So I think we have covered a lot here, Gusto. Is there anything that I haven't asked or you wanna share with community? Please do so. And if not, maybe give us a small overview and how can people get involved right now?
Yeah, sure. So for the first thing, just for people who are not in the group or not in the my project, just head over to our Telegram. The Telegram link is Lost Metas Coin. Okay, so that's Lost Metas, METASCOIN, letter Lost Metas Coin. And just stick around. We plan to launch next week as a project, and it will be on a platform and a launchpad. Uh, and it'll be an exciting day, guys. And like I said, I'm a community guy. I'm all for the community. And if you tell me that you've come from here, it'll be amazing. And yeah, just I'm really speechless because today's been a great day. It's been an amazing day. Just hearing and speaking to so many different people from all over the world as well, and just taking interest in what I'm trying to build. And I'm excited. So no, I'm very happy, and thank you for letting me be on the show and sharing my vision with everyone. So thank you.
Thank you, you too. Thank you for being here. So, guys, if you have still questions, just go to their TG official link or website. Thank you for coming this to today. We really appreciate.
Thank you.
It's great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Goodbye. Have a
Take
good
care.
day.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
So, thank you, everybody. Great questions you asked. Thank you so much. See you in next AMA. I will post the list of winners. Thank you for being here and supporting me. Thank you, guys.